Yo, what's going on, guys? Jake here, back for a mock. We're doing round 3 today of the Formula 1 season. I'm just going to put this out to everyone, and then once we can get everyone in, that'll be awesome. Just going to give it a bit of time to load up. Sorry if I can't see your comments. And yeah, just want to welcome everyone to today's stream. We're going to start off with some unfortunate and sad news that we have to bring you tonight. Jake here, back for a mock. We're doing round 3 today of the Formula 1 season. I'm just going to put this out to everyone, and then to start. Once we can get everyone in, that'll be awesome. Just give it a bit of time to load up. Sorry if I can't see your comment. Of course, we're going live from Imola today. Welcome, Peter. Good to see you. And yeah, just wait for some people to filter into the stream. And unfortunately, we have to start today's stream. We're going to have some good racing. Unfortunate today news that we have round 3 from the San Marino Grand Prix and the Imola circuit. We're doing round 3 today of the Formula 1 season. We're just going to wait for a few more people, see if they filter in. Start. Fantastic to have everyone. Once we can get everyone in, that'll be awesome. Who joins today? So please just hold fire for a minute, guys. Sorry if I can't see your comment. We're going live from Imola into the main today. Welcome, Peter. Good to see you. And yeah, just want to welcome people to filter into the stream, and unfortunately we have to start today's stream. We're going to have some good racing. Unfortunate today. Unfortunate. Round 3 from the San Marino Grand Prix and the Imola circuit. Oh, is it? We're doing round 3 today. Oh yeah. Sorry, that is my fault. Is that me? Or is that someone else? But yeah, we're just going to wait for some people to filter in, and then we'll get going. What is an unfortunate start to tonight's stream. It's very hard to do this, but unfortunately we're just gonna go in. Holy hell, the echo. Yeah, right, it should be changed now, guys. Should be changed, hopefully. And, yeah, right. That should be now changed. Welcome, everyone, to this unfortunate beginning. We're going to just pull this up here. Fortunately, earlier today, during the Formula 2 race that occurred at the Spa circuit in Belgium today, fortunately there was an accident that occurred on the opening lap of the race. Unfortunately, took the life of Team Ireland driver Anthoine Hubert at the age of 22. Unfortunately, lost his life in a shocking crash. Of course, it's not much we can do, but thoughts go out to his family and friends and everyone associated with him after today's unfortunate offence. And would like to invite everyone to observe a minute's silence for Anthoine, which will start in about a minute or so. And yeah, it's just an unfortunate way to start the stream, but afterwards we should have a good flow of racing. A minute silence will start at the end when I stop speaking, and it will start now. And that opens up a very sad start to today's stream. But let's overwrite those sads by good and positives. As we're going to get into the third race of the 1990 season. We're going to be going live from Imola for qualifying and then, of course, the full race. And thanks to everyone who joins and supports the stream tonight in memory of Anthoine, and just to support the channel as well. It means the world to have as many people on here as possible. Of course, we are live streaming this event. And I just want a warm welcome to everyone who's maybe watching for their first time tonight or is joining us for another event. Of course, we've seen two races already done this season. We've seen the Australian Grand Prix, which saw an incredible surprise winner in Taro to Sugimoto for the Benetton team. Of course, this does say 1991. That's because I couldn't get the 1990 mod to work. I can turn this down here. Just gonna go in here and just gonna turn this down because that's been causing a bit of lag in the last couple of races. Welcome, Nathan. Nice to see you, man. Good to have you here. So yeah, Taro Sugimoto was a shock winner, it has to be said. In the first race for the Benetton team, that was a superb run from him. Came to the front and won that race. In second race of the season, it was Nathan Ormond in the McLaren Honda, the ever good McLaren Honda, who stepped up to the plate to secure the win in the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim. Today we go around the circuit of Imola at San Marino. Thought it should be a very exciting and big race for all of these drivers out on track. Of course, Rob Hayes has won the pole twice this season already with his Williams. Williams have shown a lot of good pace during qualifying, however their race pace so far has been lacking. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this one. I want to wish all the drivers the very best of luck out there today as qualifying is going to begin. 15-minute qualifying session then to set the grid for tomorrow's race. Of course, Rob Hayes is going to be looking to make it a hat-trick of pole positions this year in his Williams car. We're just going to wait for the first driver to hit the circuit this weekend. And there is a driver coming out here, and it's both the Dallaras who are going to be first to hit the track here. Joe Turney and Brad Lewis from New Zealand and the United Kingdom, respectively, are the first to hit the track this time by, of course, at San Marino. Very good circuit, a complex, tricky circuit to navigate their way around, and the Dallaras are the first to enter the fray here. Both of them out on track. Of course, we've seen that they've been solid. They haven't really been in breaking within the top 10 this season. It's been a bit of a struggle for both of these drivers, especially Joe Turney, who's not qualified well, but has showed some good race pace and has worked his way up through the field a lot of times this year. He has been good in the race. Qualifying, though, has been a bit of a struggle. He's going to look to set down a better qualifying run today. Behind him, Tyler Bradley in the Jordan Ford. Again, the Jordans have been surprisingly quick for a new startup team. Both him and Bart Horston at times have shown some relatively good pace to compete at the front of their Formula 1 grid. They've not been able to break into that points scoring position so far. Here is the guy that everyone's been talking about, the incredible Japanese sensation, Taro Sugimoto, who won the first race of the season, shockingly for Benetton. No one really expected it, but the Benetton team have been strong this year, and Taro Sugimoto is on all the books of the big teams as a potential world champion in the future, maybe, if his career can all go to plan. Big hype around this guy, and he's going to start his first lap here. The McLarens are up next. You see the Leighton House of Michael Clarkson, Nathan Ormond, Roberto Faria in the Brabham. Same for your Bright also in the Lotus, who have struggled this year. We'll see what they can do. This is the man that everyone has been tried to beat so far. Rob Hayes has won the pole position twice this season. However, he has not been able to convert that race pace or that qualifying pace into race pace so far. And Hayes, can he set down potentially a third fastest lap time? And I've already had an off here on the track and on the circuit, and it's Nathan Ormond. Nathan Ormond, the McLaren driver, who currently leads the championship, currently has had an off here on his first qualifying lap here. We can see him here on the replay trying to overtake the Leighton House car of Michael Clarkson here into the chicane. Was Ormond in his McLaren, and he gets it all wrong, locks up the brakes into the gravel, and around he goes. The championship leader in the gravel here in qualifying. Very early on, he just got it all wrong here. See, coming through the turn, locks it up and just sends it into the turn, and around he goes on his opening lap here. And Nathan Ormond, unfortunately here, he's going to have his lap, or he's not going to set a lap time to start off with here. And will he be able to get that car back out on track to set a time in the McLaren? You'd say probably yes, but you never know, that could affect his chances coming into this race weekend. Currently on board with Brad Lewis and Joe Turney. They're both setting down their first qualifying laps of the session. What can they do? Both the Dallors. Who is going to out-qualify who? The teammates here. We're going to go on board with Joe Turney to see where he can qualify. Coming up here across the line. He goes first by Turney. Second is his teammate Brad Lewis. Tsujimoto, where is he going to go? As well as Tyler Bradley crossing the line. Tsujimoto now in first, but Kenneth Kushida beats that lap time, and he will be in the leading position. Michael Clarkson is up next. He's going to be way off the pace. Only 6th for him. Roberto Faria in the Brabham. Only in 7th. Cynthia Bright up next in the Lotus. Judd Carr goes 7th again. Here comes Rob Hayes, the man they're trying to beat. Blistering lap time, and he will go on pole position. Ormond is up next. He's going to qualify a woeful 10th. Greg Torres, what can he do in the Ferrari? Can he potentially come up with a shock lap time? Rob Hayes, though, once again, is on the pole here. Torres is not going to be quick enough. Can only go 5th fastest. Chanel Sheen and Mariano Martinez are up there. There's German Mayer as well in the Tyrrell. Only 7th for him. So the first drivers then hit their first lap times, and Rob Hayes is the quickest by quite some distance so far. Kenneth Kushida in the other McLaren in 2nd as of right now. Tsujimoto is in 3rd. 4th for Tyler Bradley. 5th is Mariano Martinez. 6th Greg Torres. 7th for German Mayer. 8th is Joe Turney. And we have Brad Lewis followed by Michael Clarkson. Cynthia Bright in 11th. 12th is Roberto Faria. Struggling lap time for the Minardi of Chanel Sheen in 13th. For Nathan Ormond, with that spin, currently sits in last position. So drivers still yet to hit the track that could potentially hit the pole. Looks like Kepler and Maloney maybe breaking that duct of Williams' pole positions potentially. Of course, Jeremy Palin is going to be a big factor with the Williams cars being so quick. He definitely could be strong on the racetrack, and a few others here are going to try and set the best times through the midfield. All the cars then enter the pit lane and will all get pushed back. Into the garage area. And we're going to wait for the next batch of drivers to hit the track. See the final drivers come in now, the likes of German Mayer. Both the Minardis of Chanel Sheen and Mariano Martinez also hit the track too. Or have come back in. Some good opening laps, some Hayes and Tsujimoto. Are you alright, Peter? And who's going to be the next batch of drivers to hit the track? and get running here. And here comes Danny Bright, I believe there. It is Danny Bright in the Lotus Judd car. There's Alex Aldemanipa also racing his way out. Tyler Bradley, Jeremy Palin. This is the guy I think who, out of anyone of this next batch of drivers, this is the one who can definitely hit the pole position. And he already gets past Tyler Bradley here on his opening laps. Greg Torres here, Zane Maloney coming out in the Benetton. As we have 7 minutes of this session left. So here comes the second batch of drivers, going to setting down a lap times. Danny Bright is the first out in the Lotus car, in the Lotus Judd. And he is going to go down into the final couple of turns here. Get the split times back up. Behind him, Alex Aldemanipa, the Russian, the young 18-year-old in the Brabham. See what Palin can do here, because he could be held up by some other cars that maybe are slower than him. That could be an issue for this Williams Renault here. But we're going to go on board with Jeremy and see what he can do on his opening lap here in qualifying. Across the line he will go then. And look at Aldemanipa and Danny Bright going side by side in the turn. That's not going to help Palin's case at all, and it's going to slow him down. He's now stuck behind the slowest car on the grid, the Lotus Judd of Danny Bright, and he's going to go to the inside and outbrake him. He doesn't into this turn. This is significantly affecting the lap of Jeremy Palin. Right now it's really what the Williams driver just is not what he wants to see at the moment, and this is going to affect him very badly. You see there, he's already a full 2 seconds off of the pace of Rob Hayes right now. He cannot navigate past Danny Bright as of right now. The United Kingdom based driver of Palin. Again, really is struggling as he comes through Sector 2 and across the timeline. He is now a full 4 seconds off. This really is a shocking lap from Palin. It's not really his fault. You can't blame him when he has a slow car in front of him, which he now is eventually going to get past here. But Palin's going to struggle and is really going to have to graft and work hard here to set down a good lap. Cross the line this time then for Alex Aldemanipa in the Brabham. What can he do? 10th for him. Jeremy Palin 14th. It's a shocking lap really for him. Kepler again does not go well. Lecture in 8th. Here comes Zane Maloney. What can he do? Him and also Greg Torres in the Ferrari coming out for a second bite of the cherry. Here. What can Zane Maloney do with 4 minutes left in this session? The other Benetton, the Barbados driver. Barbadian, maybe? That's how you pronounce it. Maloney across the line. A solid 4th position. The Benetton showing some incredible pace here. Torres goes 3rd, even better for him. Next up to Sugimoto in the other Benetton. Can he improve his time? He does to go 4th. Joe Turney up next in the Dallara. What can he do? Goes, improves, and will now be in 9th. Isaac Law in the Tyrrell. He goes 8th, and again, it's another good lap time for him. The standings are as followed. Rob Hayes on the pole with Kenta Kishida 2nd. Greg Torres in 3rd. 4th and 5th for both the Benetton cars of Tsujimoto and Maloney. 6th is Tyler Bradley. 7th for Mariano Martinez. And 8th is Isaac Law. On the next page, see Bart Horston in 9th. 10th for Joe Turney. 11th is Martin Lecture. 12th, German Mayer. 13th is Brad Lewis. 14th, Aldemanipa. 15th for Michael Claassen. 16th for Cynthia Bright. 17th is Roberto Faria. 18th, Jakob Kepler in the Ferrari as well. So Kepler in the Ferrari is struggling too. 19th for Jeremy Palin, another struggling driver here. 20th for Channel Sheen. 21st for Danny Bright. And currently 22nd is Nathan Ormond. So at this current point in time, we actually have a pretty mixed grid in terms of it's going to be right jumbled up. We're going to see some very interesting battles tomorrow as Mariano Martinez is on his in-lap here in the Minardi. But if the grid remains as it is right now, then we're looking at a completely jumbled up grid here and a good chance for some of the lower teams to score some points. The likes of Ormond, Palin, Kepler, all towards the rear of the field here. They've got to work their way up through the field. It could be a hat-trick of pole positions for Rob Hayes. His third in a row. I mean, he's been superb in qualifying this year. His general pace has been, just immense, really, compared to the rest of the field. But can he hold on to that lead? That's the problem. And the drivers are being shunted back into the garage, apart from some others who are ready to hit the track here with a minute left. It's going to be tight on whether they get out to complete another lap. My guesses would be known. So Nathan, this could be the field that you see for the race, which will be coming up shortly. Rob Hayes is on pole. Second, Kenta Kushida. Third, Greg Torres. Sujimoto Maloney. Bradley is up next, and Mariano Martinez, Isaac Law, Bart Horston and Joe Turney round out the top 10. It's not going to be enough lap times here really to complete, I doubt it. 43 seconds left. Maybe Michael Clarkson could potentially sneak a lap time, but the Leighton House car you wouldn't think would have a shot at pole position, or it'd be very unlikely that he does. And Clarkson here is going to get in a lap. Maybe Kenta Kushida as well. Potentially, let's see. Is anyone going to squeeze in a lap here? Clarkson will. Kushida by the skin of his teeth will. Ormond won't. So, Nathan Ormond, is he going to be able to set a lap? We know that Kushida and Clarkson are going for it. I think Nathan Ormond might have squeezed across the line here, so he will get a clean lap in here to potentially improve and better his time, and maybe not, start today's race from the bottom of the grid. Here comes Michael Clarkson. We're going to go on board with Kenta Kushida here, who could maybe steal the pole from Rob Hayes. Both of the McLaren Hondas charging hard. Across the timing line. Kushida is off pace. Ormond is close. He has to find 0.2 of a second though to steal the pole away from Rob Hayes. Here we go then. The final three drivers in the session to set a lap time. Can Kushida steal one away? He can't improve. Nathan Ormond improves to go third. So the final grid for tomorrow will look like this. Rob Hayes is on pole for tomorrow's race. Second for Kenta Kushida. Third, Nathan Ormond. Torres is in fourth for tomorrow. Then we have Sujimoto and Maloney, Tyler Bradley, Mariano Martinez, Isaac Law and Bart Horston rounding out the top 10. A bad day for the likes of Jakob Kepler and Jeremy Palin, 19th and 20th. They're going to have to work their way up the field after a poor qualifying run here to maybe work their way in scoring any sorts of points. But without further ado, Rob Hayes, congratulations to him for getting his third pole of the season. Hey, welcome, Seb. And Logan too, sorry mate. His third pole of the season is a hat-trick for Rob Hayes. Congratulations to him. And he has won the pole. Let's get into the race. 12 laps around Imola to decide our winners. Here's the starting grid then. Rob Hayes on pole. Can he finally keep that lead and seal off a race victory? Kushida is second. Third for Ormond, who's currently the points leader in the championship for McLaren. Then we have Torres, both the Benettons. Up next, Tyler Bradley, then Mariano Martinez, Isaac Law, Bart Horston, Joe Turney, Lecture, German Mayer, then Brad Lewis. And we have Michael Clarkson and Adam Manipa, Cynthia Bright and Roberto Faria. Kepler and Palin are going to have to work their way up from the field after a poor qualifying session. And Chanel Sheen and Danny Bright are on the final row. Here we go then. Best of luck to all 22 drivers. Who's going to get the win? We're about to find out. And here we go then. On the grid, Rob Hayes is on pole for today's race, with Kushida and behind him. The McLarens stalking him down. The lights building up. 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. And San Marino, it's a good start from Kenta Kushida on the inside lane in the McLaren as they race down hard into turn number 1. On the outside, Rob Hayes gets a good exit and will continue and keep the lead as they run off into the turn. Down the straightaway they will go. Both the McLarens battling for second. Kushida blocks for now, but Rob Hayes is in the lead in this race for Williams. Second is Kushida. Third, Nathan Orman. Taro Tsujimoto up to 4th. 5th for Greg Torres. Zane Maloney in 6th, and both the Jordans come next in the form of Bradley and Horston. Isaac Law in 9th. Mariano Martinez rounds out the top 10. And finally, a good start for Rob Hayes in his Williams. And he will lead currently right now. But Kenta Kushida is not letting him get too far away in his McLaren in second. Nathan Ormond also stalking these two down into the chicane. They will go. Kushida is right on the back of the Williams Renault right here. What can he do? He's got to run down this straightaway here and into the turn. Hayes does a nice job though of blocking for now. And through lap number 1, Rob Hayes in the Williams Renault is under increased pressure from the McLaren here of Kenta Kushida. Out of the final chicane and across the line for lap number 1. 62 laps. Wait a minute, that's not right. Oh, I've cocked the race distance, lads. That was a fail. Kushida to the inside lane. Oh, that was tight. Very tight. And there's been an off. There's an off on the circuit here. Oh, and it's the one it's Isaac Law in the Tyrrell who has gone around. I've completely cocked the lap distance. So after 12 laps, the race will be finished. That is completely my fault. That's my bad. So after 12 laps, the race will be finished. Please remind me of that. But here's the incident involving the Tyrrell of Isaac Law here, trying to make an overtake on the Jordan and clips the back, and around he goes and into the gravel pit and off. So a bad area of judgment from Isaac Law. And he just gets on the back bumper and around he goes. Hey, welcome Fitzy. He is off into the gravel. So after 12 laps, the race will be finished. Let's just clarify that. But Rob Hayes now will lead this race. Second from Kushida, Isaac Law. Oh, there's another car off. It's Joe Turney in the Dallara. So 2 cars go off within the couple of corners there. And now let's see what this event happened here. So that's 2 in 1 here. You see him battling with the Leighton House and the other Dallara. Gets into the gravel. And just around he goes. So that's 2 spins in the space of a few turns. Both Law and Turney both go around. And they have ruined their chances here of getting a good finishing position from today's race. But Hayes currently leads. Kushida second. Allman third. Then Tsujimoto and Torres. Rob Hayes into the turn. And he'll do a nice job of braking, but he is under increased pressure from Kushida here. Ignore that. We will have, when he gets to 50 laps remaining, fastest lap. Rob Hayes just sets that down, so a good lap from the Williams. The fastest of the race so far. And a good job from him and his team. So when we reach lap with 50 to go, remember that will be the final lap of the race. Just to clarify, that's a mistake on my part, but Kushida here is all over the back bumper of Rob Hayes and potentially could get past the Williams sooner rather than later. Top 6 are clear right now. Rounding off by Zane Maloney. Tyler Bradley doing a nice job in the Jordan right now. That's a good result currently for that team. We run you through the rest of the field. Palin and Kepler sitting in the back, just slowly working their way through the field here. And here comes Zane Maloney looking on for an overtake on Greg Torres for 5th. The other Benetton car. Potentially looking to get another position there from the 5th spot. But he does not get that. And Hayes will remain out front. He has a nice lead over Kushida right now and is doing a nice job of remaining out front in this race. Brakes hard and low into the turn. Cross. Here he goes then. Braking into this one. Nice job. And look for a battle here out on track. Maloney currently letting Torres get away from him a bit here. Here we have a good battle for 11th between Brad Lewis, German Mayer. Michael Clarkson might also get involved. Here comes the Tyrrell of German Mayer. Big lunge towards the inside on the Dallara. Cannot find that move. Cannot make it stick. And Brad Lewis will keep his 11th pace for the time remaining. Let's go on board with Jeremy Palin. After a poor qualifying session, he is going to have to work his way up the field. He's going to start here with an overtake on Jakob Kepler. However, he cannot complete it. Instead, gets outbraked by the Ferrari driver and will remain in 18th position. But Rob Hayes certainly isn't getting away from Kushida while he is setting down a good pace. The other McLaren driver is not letting him get away as of right now. See, Taro Tsujimoto is not letting this top 3 spot get away from me either. He may be looking for a podium, and don't do that. It does this from time to time, guys. Don't worry, we should be able to load the game back up in a second. It ruins the flow as well when that happens, which is a bit annoying, but there you go. We're back. Just happens from time to time. That's all. It's just bad because it stops the flow of the commentary and all. That's the only downfall of this game I've found. Into the chicane at this time by Hayes still leads. Kushida second. Ormond in third. 4th is Taro Tsujimoto, who coming through the speed trap here. Cannot get as fast. 5th, Greg Torres. And rounding off the final points paying position right now is Zane Maloney in the other Benetton racing car. Both the Jordans sitting in a good pace. Marino Martinez doing a nice job in the Minardi. There's Martin Lecture, Brad Lewis, German Mayer, Michael Clarkson, Alden Manipa and Cynthia Bright. Here's a good battle. Kepler on the back of Farrier, who's holding up this long train of cars right here, with Palin, Sheen and Isaac Law all on the end of it. So they're going to have to get past the Brazilian here in his Brabham. Here they go. Kepler's the first to look. This could end all in handbags here. Oh, and Kepler swerving from left to right, locks up on his brakes. That causes the 5 of Jeremy Palin to also lock up there. That could have really ended a lot worse. Here comes Isaac Law on the outside of Chanel Sheen right here. And now Kepler on the inside again, looking, cannot complete the pass though on the Brabham car, who's holding up a lot of these drivers who are evidently quicker than him. Now what they can do this time, he has to defend deep. He now goes to the inside. Oh, it's tight, and he goes off. Farrier goes off into the gravel, as well as Isaac Law, who is also off there and forced wide, but it was always going to happen. Farrier with a poor line into the turn, and now these drivers can just crack on. And probably for the better that hit he spun out there. He was holding up these drivers like the likes of Palin and Kepler, who are clearly faster in the Ferrari and the Williams, to spin out. And luckily for them, they gain another position as they somehow look to recover during this race. 8 laps are remaining, and Kenta Kishida has caught up to the back of Rob Hayes. Can he find an overtake? Big battle for the lead here. McLaren Honda against Williams Renault. Kishida with a big lunge towards the inside. What can he do? Can't find the overtake this time by. Now Nathan Allman putting under pressure for him for third. Taro Tsujimoto also in fourth potentially here. And now all that ground that Kenta Kishida made up has been lost, and he's now under pressure from his teammate for the second position. But Hayes keeps his lead as of right now. Again, Torres and Maloney still quite tightly bunched for that 5th and 6th battle. But Hayes doing a nice job. Kishida darting across the track there, trying to block off from his teammate Allman in third. But Rob Hayes. Oh, pardon me, voice break. Right there. Rob Hayes has led every single lap of the way so far, but he is going to be under a sustained amount of pressure here from the McLaren counterpart. Oh, Palin must have had an issue. Jeremy Palin must have spun off. He is all the way back into 21st. Big trouble on the 21 car. What happened to him? Because Palin was up there behind Greg Torres. And there goes we can't see what happened, but Palin way off it to where he was, and that is disappointing for the Williams team and Palin right now, because he is way back in the field now, and it's just a weekend gone from bad to worst for the 5 team, and it's really unfortunate to see them running at the back of the grid. Kepler, however, is still doing a half decent job as of right now, working his way up the field nicely, currently running in 16th. Next up is the overtake of Cynthia Bright. But towards the front, the battle still continuing. Kenta Kishida looking towards the inside again on Rob Hayes. Cannot get the move done, but this battle for the lead is nowhere near but over. Rob Hayes again seems faster through the first sector, but in the last 2, that's where Kenta Kishida is making up his time right now. And that is where he is definitely putting more of a threat under to the 6 car out in the lead right now. It currently runs Williams, McLaren, Benetton, Ferrari and Benetton. Then both the Jordans, a Minardi and the Leighton House car in the top 10 as of the current time. Is Kishida going to make his pass this time and go on board with the McLaren? Of course, Kenta Kishida has been outperformed by his teammate this year, but I think that was all to be expected. Kishida again just working his way around the McLaren team is doing a nice job so far. Can't fault his performances, but they would like to see him get to victory lane sometime soon. What about this time? Does he catch the 6 coming into these next couple of turns? He certainly has pace. Hayes goes on the defensive, blocks towards the inside lane. What can Kushida do this time on exit? Not a lot, really. It has to be said, but he is catching the leader. You know, you can't deny that. You can clearly see it happening as we have 6 laps remaining of the Grand Prix. And it's Rob Hayes who leads out front. He gets a bit loose in the turn there. His car jiggling about. Here comes Kenta Kushida with a big lunge towards the inside. Does not make it happen, and Hayes will just simply get away from him again. So Kushida can get to the back of the 6. Again, there's not the problem. It's getting past the Williams out front right now, which seems to be the issue for Kenta Kushida in the other McLaren. Palin is working his way back up the field again, up to 19th, so he's making some good steady progress. Same with Jakob Kepler, who's currently running 15th, currently pressuring Alex Aldemanipa in the Brabham. German Mayer there having a good battle with Brad Lewis as well, out on tracks. There's some good battles going on. Just overtaking is not of the essence at the moment. The top 6 remained pretty much unchanged so far, as we now have 5 laps to go at Imola. Oh, sorry, 4 laps to go at Imola. Time is running out for Kenta Kushida to make his move. Hayes again going defensive, blocking that inside lane, trying to not let the McLaren past him, but it is getting tight between these front 2. Again, can he get him on exit? It's going to be so tight. The gap has decreased, and now Kushida still looking, darting around, trying to find some extra pace somewhere else on the track. Here he goes. He's going to make another move into this turn. He cannot complete it, and Hayes will just simply breeze it away from him once again. It's not happening for the McLaren of Kenta Kushida as we go on board Teruto Sugimoto to watch from the whole back of this grid right now. Again, he's trying to put pressure on Nathan Allman to get the final podium position in the Benetton, which would be a hell of a run from Sugimoto. Through the turn then, Rikai still out front is Rob Hayes, and still looking to close out these final remaining laps here to claim his first victory of the season, and the first victory as well for the Williams team. We were well recepted in America, where Hayes residence from, and it's been a deserved win. He's had the pace in qualifying all year, and he just struggled to transfer that to the race. He has done that so today, and if he can go mistake free with 3 laps remaining here, he will be the winner of the San Marino Grand Prix. See, the front 2 are clear of Ormond in 3rd. Kushida, is he going to get him this time? The battle still heating up. And here he goes, going to throw it to the turn. Hayes goes very defensive again, and again is getting wiggly and squiggly, but this is the turn where Kushida's trying to make his move. It hasn't worked the previous 2 laps, it's not going to work again. And the same move that Kenta Kushida is trying. Lap in, lap out. Hey mate, welcome to the stream, my man. And the move that he's trying to make, lap in, lap out, is currently not working for him. And Rob Hayes continues to remain out in front with Kushida 2nd, Allman, then Sugimoto, Torres and Maloney up next. Tyler Bradley, Horston. See the field very much spread out. Jakob Kepler trying to work his way back up through the field. Same with Jeremy Palin. Of course, they had poor qualifying runs, which resulted in them being towards the rear of the field. Here comes Jeremy Palin with a move on Chanel Sheen for 17th position. He does get it in the Williams Renault. Kushida with 2 laps to go here. Surely he can't try the same move again, which has not worked for the previous 3 laps. Can he find another good overtaking opportunity? Here we go. Into this turn. Kushida looks on the inside. Cannot make it stick this time. But he is on the rear wing and the gearbox of the Williams. Hayes just has to go mistake free to round off a good performance and victory. Again, he can't try into this turn. It hasn't worked the last 3 laps. Surely he's not going to try for a 4th lap in a row. He won't this time. He thinks better of it. Instead, opts to stay behind the 6th this time. But a good exit from the Williams car. In fact, it's a fantastic exit. And now here comes Nathan Orman on his teammate for 2nd place. And he's got it. Nathan Orman into 2nd with a late race move to overtake his teammate. And into 2nd place he will go. Kushida's falling back as now Taruta Sugimoto trying to steal the last podium place from him. And it's all fantastic news for your leader in Rob Hayes, who will lead this race. And surely that move there from Orman might have helped him seal the victory. Fantastic. Oh, it's not good. Kushida's going to be fuming with his teammate. There's been another off up the road, and it's Michael Clarkson with a mechanical issue. He is instead going to be out of this race in the Leighton House car. More on reliability issues for them. And with 2 to go, Rob Hayes, loose wheel on the Leighton House car there. But Nathan Ormond might have just stolen it away from his teammate there and gifted Rob Hayes his first Grand Prix victory. Unbelievable. Kushida must be fuming in. Oh, it's Julius. Welcome, Julius. I know you are now. I wasn't sure what your YouTube handle was, but Julius Anderson, welcome. Kushida is going to be raging in the cockpit with his teammate Jeremy Palin in the other Williams has just set a fastest lap, so he's on the charge. Kepler and Lewis going for here, and Brad Lewis off into the turn. Around he goes in the Dallara. That's another spin there, and Kepler will now go in at 12th, so he's made his way up the order. Zane Maloney and Greg Torres here having a good battle, but Ferrari in there, but Maloney cannot get the better of him. And here we go then. One more time around the Imola circuit for Rob Hayes and the Williams team. Final lap of the race. He has been dominant in qualifying. Look at the McLaren still having a squabble here. Kushida and Ormond still having a good battle for 2nd position. Rob Hayes has destroyed the qualifying field so far this season. He's not been able to transfer that into a good race pace. Today, he finally has made it happen. It was under severe pressure from Kenta Kushida in the McLaren for a majority of this race. However, a late race move from teammate Nathan Ormond on Kushida has allowed the Williams Renault team to absolutely fly ahead. And Phil come to round off the final turns. It's been a superb drive from Hayes to round off what will be a good points victory. Can Kushida potentially finally make a move on Orman to seal 2nd position? Orman with a big lock up there. It's not going to affect him as much as maybe we thought it would have. But through the final sector, what performance and what drive from the American, who's going to bring home Williams' first victory of the season if he can make it through the final few turns mistake free. Through the turn, Rob Hayes out of the final turn, down the front stretch. Rob Hayes is going to win the San Marino Grand Prix. Wins the full 9 points. 2nd for Ormond, 3rd's Kushida, a good 4th for Tsujimoto. Up next is Greg Torres in 5th. And rounding out the points will be the 6 of Zane Maloney for Benetton. A good day for him. And that is what the standings do look like. Tyler Bradley and Bart Horston next across the line, with Mariano Martinez coming up next. 10th for Martin Lecturer. Good race in the Leighton House. German Mayer is going to cross the line in his Tyrrell, with Jakob Kepler making his way up the order for 12th. A decent result for the Ferrari team. Alexander Manipa impresses the 18-year-old Russian in 13th. Jeremy Palin eventually recovers to finish 14th after a poor qualifying. Cynthia Bright, fantastic performance in the Lotus to finish 15th in the end. Chanel Sheen and the rest of the drivers will come across the line and the field. So we find the current race positions. Of course, I put the lap distance up too much, but these are the final results of the race. Remember, the top 6 only score points here. However, the F1 officials are looking into changing that for the season. Points will be updated in the spreadsheet. I'll let you know when they're all done. Rob Hayes with an immaculate weekend here in San Marino and for Williams. It was simply stunning from the Williams driver. He has won the Grand Prix today. Thank you all for tuning in to today's race 3 of 15. Thanks to Julius, Peter, Fitzy, Logan, Eli, Seb. I think that was it for those who tuned in. I love doing these series. They are fantastic. And we'll be back probably tomorrow afternoon for maybe race 4 or a NASCAR race. Thank you everyone who has watched today's stream. And until next time, this has been Jake. And thank you for watching Jake's Mocks 1990 F1 season, race 3 of 15. If I can find the button to turn off the stream, that would help. Thanks, guys.